Pretty.
Bring the sugar and tea and rum. One day
Oh my god.
we'll take our leave and go.
Are you gonna be kind of tall and thick like your mama, or are you gonna be
Skinny
and
lanky like your dad.
lanky like your dad? Yeah.
Or both. Oh, they're here.
Y'all think 2020 was bad? Just wait until it turns 21 and starts drinking.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus now bundled together. The greatest
Just
stories
Thank
disregard
God.
that.
I was wondering when ESPN would be bundled together.
Probably Disney Plus and ESPN.
Okay, I'm getting the sound effects ready for what we usually do. Okay, the stream is up. We're live. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The following audio program contains mature content, including offensive language. Listener discretion is advised.
It's a catastrophe, nothing less.
You're the one that knows about this.
I don't know.
Yeah, you were on the show.
Thomas, why are you so offended with dead people?
Never
even heard of that motherfucker.
Bullshit.
Well, if anybody was gonna know, Matt would know.
Good job.
Matt knows everything.
You're talking to the guy that remembers everything.
Remember that Tommy buttfuck? I don't feel okay with that. I really don't.
RoboTuner's a loser.
First and foremost, I am not fucking RoboTuner.
Robo, fuck you.
Matt would be so tender.
Oh my Number God. One.
That's the play for a stripper, to just go, oh yeah, I listen to all of them all the time.
Why did the stripper turn to Matt
Thomas?
Thomas?
Where's the stripper from?
Thomas, is that you, man?
I thought it was genius, RoboTuner. You did a fantastic job.
It is. I thought that I just wanted some money so I could buy some pop screen filters.
You dress up well, Thomas, man. I didn't know you were into this.
You little LARPer, you.
Someone shoot me. I have to live with him.
All these podcasts in my feed, but something's wrong. Not a single one I follow, they sing their own theme song. Now I have my own, and I really must say, please offer us advertisement so we can do this for pay. Back in 2015, just a desktop and 2 mics. We found it hard on social media to get any likes. Then we got new equipment and the world was much more fun. 3 years had gone by, now our studio is done. RoboTuner, master of debacle, sitting at the helm.
Sushi keeping Matt in check, true ruler of this realm.
Thunder K shocking both their asses into gear.
Alex, the intern. Why am I even here?
We're glad that you have joined for this occurrence of our show. We can't think of lyrics for this part, so here we go. The song is almost over, starting at last. Broadcasting from the dungeon at Castle Fujiwa, it's RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast. Occurrence 113 for Sunday, December the 13th, 2020, in the year of those filthy rodents that are coming for your skulls. Skulls, I mean souls. I meant to say souls. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Yeah, that's the one I didn't have prepared. Greetings, RoboTuner coming at you from the Dungeon and Castle Fujiwa. Back again with that low-budget podcast style for your listening enjoyment, amusement, disgust, or all the above. Take your pick. Joining us once again across the table from me is my existing romantic life partner, Sushi.
Hello.
And then, hold on, the bulk shipment of COVID vaccine, the first bulk shipment of COVID vaccines, Thunder K.
Hello.
And then there's also this.
Is anybody there?
Yep. He's also he and Alex the intern are also joining us remotely today, but I'll have them explain why in a second. And of course, here is Alex the intern.
What's up?
All right, there you go. That's all I could find for ragtime music at such short
Really?
notice.
You didn't give me my introduction. You gave them theirs, but not me.
Well, we usually give your music whenever you do your segment. Okay, here's what I have for conspiracy music.
It's not conspiracy music.
I don't know the name of it. I had no prep time to get with Thunder K on what exact sound bites he uses.
I'm just an afterthought.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Do you hear us?
Hey, I'm here.
Yes, they're here. So why don't we start off with that? Why you and Alex the intern are joining us remotely today?
Oh, okay. So, on Friday when I was at school, it turns out one of my friends that I sit with at school had tested positive for COVID. So my school made me go on quarantine till the 18th. That's about it.
Yep. And thus you guys are joining us from your living room at your home. We actually tried to get you guys up on the live feed with Zoom, but I was facing too many challenges and I didn't want to delay the show any longer.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It's been kind of a sombering week overall. First off, there have been 2 deaths this week. One of them is Shelly and Thunder K's uncle Danny. He was 67 years old. He'd been suffering for quite a while though. He died on Tuesday, and then also on Tuesday. Actually, no. What was it? Tuesday or Wednesday that he passed?
Wednesday.
Okay, it was Wednesday.
It was on my birthday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, but he had been suffering for quite a while, and then I also found out on Tuesday night. Actually, well, Tuesday night's when it happened, but I found out on Thursday that my good friend Matt Stubbs from the JJTM had a death in his family. Wait, hold on a second.
I was just gonna say I would just let that go. I wouldn't mention that.
He's already mentioned it though.
Okay, all right. I'm just
if they hadn't, I wouldn't have said it now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they made an announcement. Really, yeah, it just sad all around. I don't know any details. Dustin has been in contact with Matt, and I did offer to fill in for him on Tuesday if he doesn't have anybody else lined up to co-host. So yeah, and then on top of that, well, Sushi and I just came back from your mom's house for Christmas gathering, and as you can imagine, since Thunder K and his family couldn't go because of Alex's quarantine situation, it was just us, and we enjoyed ourselves. It just wasn't the same without everybody there. It's just kind of surreal.
I make everything better.
Yes,
Yeah,
you do.
That's my job.
Which is why we love having you on the show, and you too,
I
intern
wouldn't
Alex.
say love.
Well, of course you wouldn't because you grew up with him.
I can't say it because then he'll get a big head, and then we'll have to deal with that.
He puts his face all the way up to the camera. How big is it?
He always wants me to think she doesn't want me around. Starts grappling about me and throwing large objects at my head. But I know she really deep down loves me. Deep down.
Yep. As you put your head all the way up towards the camera.
Deep down.
Like in my colon.
Ew. No.
Oh.
Gross.
I always thought you showed affection by farting on people.
Well, that's
correct.
That's my colon. That's where it comes from.
Oh, I thought you meant that he likes to put his head up your ass.
Is that why RoboTuner always calls me Engineer Colon?
No.
Oh, he's referring to our Space Pants audio plays that we did quite a few of. And no, I did not come up with that character name.
We still have one we have to record that we have already got the
script for. Yeah.
We just haven't recorded it.
Yeah, maybe in 2 weeks if we have time we can do that. Well, once intern Alex is free and clear out of quarantine, when they're able to visit us again. Yeah, but
we didn't have to play the awkward hide the pickle at my mom's house with my sister.
I think it's find the pickle, not hide the pickle. That's weird.
Well, first they have to hide it in order for people to find it.
Well, she was gonna hide too.
We're technically both right.
So we literally just had to guess numbers so we could have the baskets.
There's just another meaning for hide the pickle.
Your face is a hide the pickle.
Yeah. Your face is hide the pickle. Shit. And then just one other sad piece of news to go along with this last week. As I may have mentioned that I was going to be making an announcement about my band Josh and the Jet Noise, it's official. We are no longer a band.
Well, that's 3.
Yeah, well, now that we've made the official announcement publicly, I can talk about it some more. I didn't want to say anything prematurely before. we've actually been planning for a while to end Josh and the Jet Noise for about the last 2 or 3 months. So
I know exactly what ended it, and you can't deny it, Matt.
Oh, what's your
We
theory?
all know
Because I'm
you
about to
broke
tell
up
the
the band
truth.
because you wanted to go with your solo career.
That's what it is. You knew. God dang it. Kenneth, you were so... Or Thunder K, you are
Sorry,
so
stick
on
your finger
point.
in my navel is just going to go top 10.
I can see it
any day
becoming
now.
a platinum.
Oh.
Platinum.
Man, it hasn't even gone aluminum. It hasn't. You know how Spotify sends you your list for the year, which came out a couple weeks ago? For those that have listened, it showed like the top artists that you streamed, and for those that actually have music on there, it shows you the top countries and the top tracks or albums that people listen to. Yeah, I got it, and I didn't even reach 1,000 streams on it on Spotify.
Well, I mean,
I only broke a couple hundred, actually.
It takes a lot of time.
I know, and
some people have their music out there for a long time, and then all of a sudden
Are
it's
you
trends.
even promoting it, like on Twitter?
Put
or
it on
Facebook?
TikTok as a song to choose.
Oh, it's already TikTok. Yeah, it's already on TikTok as a song to choose from the library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was actually one of the options I was offered through the publisher that I went through.
Oh, good deal.
But to answer your question, Thunder K, no, I didn't. I haven't been promoting it heavily recently. I did before the release because I was hoping it would get up a lot of hype. But right now, unless you're a known artist, it's really hard to promote any new music. I mean, even though people know me from this show and from the bands that I've been in the last 7 years, Josh and Jet Noise and the Confounded.
Is there a way to make one or two of your songs royalty free on YouTube, and then they can just use that on their YouTube videos?
I think there is. I would just have to go into the individual tracks because my album tracks are also on YouTube. That's synonymous with my RoboTuner page here.
Do it.
Yeah, I could. I don't know how much more exposure that would get me, but it's at least worth
if they
trying.
find a song that they think is either funny or good, or both.
Yeah.
Then they'll use it on, their how-to videos or their funny skits or whatever. And
you're a funny skitzer.
I am a funny skitzer.
Yeah, without the skits. SKITZ.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but back on the subject of Josh and Jet Noise no longer being a band, we'd actually known a couple months ago that it wasn't going to continue, and really what it is that Josh has come to a point in his life where he just doesn't have the time to be an active musician and playing live anymore. 2020 has been a difficult year, but the changes that are going on in his family and plus with Dustin Schneider, he needs to stop being a little ball bag and do a final show out of respect for you guys. That actually was the original plan. Was we were going to have a final show scheduled sometime this month just to do one final send-off, but unfortunately because of things happening that I'm not going to get into here, that it just wasn't possible. Now, with that being said, since we are no longer a band, I may actually consider playing some final show. Playing some Jet Noise songs and streaming them with Josh's permission, of course. I don't seem to think that he would have any reason why he wouldn't want me to do that. Of course, I would ask him first.
Yeah, you had to perform them one time by yourself. With
I
you and
did,
Chris,
as a whole band, but that was just under the stipulation that his voice. Dustin, we already talked about that. I'm not gonna mention that now. Anyway, but it was just because his voice was he got sick and his voice was hoarse. So within just a couple days' notice, he sent me all the lyrics, and we performed it, and I sung it, and I was just lucky we were able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, I don't know what the future holds for me musically, but I just wanted to say that the original intent was to do a final show as an entire band, a streaming show, but it just didn't happen that way. Yeah, but who knows what the future holds for me and or Chris, the drummer, musically. I mean, our options are open. Whether it's doing my stuff or if we end up joining another band or our artist. So I just don't want to stay dormant during this time, even though it is pretty hard, even for those that are established musicians, especially the ones locally that make a living off of it, which I know quite a few. Yeah. Anyway, maybe I'll. That's what I was gonna say, Shelly or Sushi. That's what I was going to say. You actually had come up with some lyrics for me over the weekend.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna read them. I'm not gonna read them.
You should.
Okay.
You should read them.
No, I'm not going to read them.
I want you to read them.
I'm going to sum them up, but I'm not gonna read them.
I want you to read them.
I'm not gonna read all of them.
I want you to read them.
Okay, so Sushi had actually written lyrics for me to. What the hell was that?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
Did you hear that? Oh, it was Thunder K. I can hear them laughing over. I can see them laughing.
Did he mute himself?
Yeah, they muted themselves.
That's probably the baby crying.
I don't know. Sound like a mouse squeak, like that. Yeah, Thunder K. I can't hear you. You're on mute. You're on mute.
If he mutes, can he not hear you?
I don't know what's going on.
You may have to get out and go back in. That's what she said.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Thunder K, but I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
Oh!
Okay, there you go. Now I can hear you. So what the hell was that noise?
What noise?
Yeah, whatever. As soon as I heard it, I looked over and saw the Zoom call with you two. You two are cracking up and on mute.
What are you talking about?
Whatever.
That's
and then
crazy.
I see your mouth moving like obviously you're talking, or either to us or to each other.
Matt, what are you talking about, man?
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So, yes, as I was saying, Sushi wrote some lyrics for me to put into a future song that I haven't written yet. And I'm just going to read some of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Okay. Laughing in the other room, I hear you. Cussing in the next room, I hear you. Talking in your sleep, I hear you, but you don't hear me. Your eyes are looking through me and nodding your head. You say you understand, but you don't hear me. We go out with your friends, and I become invisible. This made me sad.
Well, that's not true. It's just I was just writing words.
I try to talk to you, but you don't hear me.
That's true.
Laughing in the other room, I hear you. Cussing in the next room, I hear you. Talking in your sleep, I hear you, but you don't hear me.
The very end. Read the end. Don't read the sad part in the middle.
Okay. Well.
Not the.
The very end is just the repeating,
not the
but
chorus,
you don't hear me.
But like right before it.
Okay. I feel like you forgot I am here. I try to make my presence known, but you don't hear me.
No, never mind.
Okay. Laughing in the other room, cussing in the other room, talking in your sleep, I hear you, but you don't hear me. I feel like a ghost in a rut, desperate for your love. I call out your name, but you don't hear me. This is fictional, by the way.
It is fictional. But except for the beginning.
Laughing in the other room, cussing in the other room. Well, that's when I'm playing.
That's all true.
That's when I'm playing fucking ridiculous video games.
And that's when he needs puppies and kittens.
Yeah. That's your go-to phrase. Puppies, kittens.
And what about what?
Well, yeah, that's when I'm asleep and I get startled.
I could barely move and you're startled. It's cute though.
Let's see here. All right, so enough of Josh and the Jet Noise being over. Yeah, it was a great run, and you know Josh is a really great songwriter. I've been playing with. I think he's the one musician I played with for the longest time consistently, which was 7, almost 8 years. Yeah, because the Confounded lasted 4.5 years, and as soon as we ended, we started Josh and the Jet Noise. Anyway, so
yeah, RoboTuner had to focus on his voice acting career.
Oh yeah, I mentioned the other show. I got a second role, didn't I? Last week? Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
did.
Yeah,
you bragged about it. Yes.
Yeah, I still don't have the script yet. I'm still waiting on what my lines are going to be. I'm just supposed to speak with a very deep, light Germanic accent.
Yeah.
something like this, but not try to be so over the top as if I'm doing a direct impression of Arnold.
Arnold with a stuffed up nose.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking.
Oh man, I hear that. My nose actually isn't stuffing. But speaking of medical procedures, Sushi had a long overdue surgery on Tuesday on both of her hands. Yep, and she's showing the camera with her bandages.
Yes, I know. You're probably thinking, oh, those are just bandages. It's a show ploy. No, it's not.
It's a show ploy. Yeah, you actually cut both your wrists on broken bottles that you tried to stab RoboTuner with.
Whoa, that is dark. No,
I thought it was dark.
Tried to escape.
I tried to escape. Look, there it is. I tried to escape.
What, from the shackles?
Yeah, you wouldn't let me go.
The electric shackles.
And this is what happens.
Oh, jeez.
That would be an awesome name for a band.
What?
Electric Shackles.
No, not yet, Dustin.
Not yet, Dustin. I haven't asked her to yet either.
The Stitches would probably...
Is that what they hung her on a cross?
No, they didn't do that.
Crucifixion is not legal in this country. Even metaphorically.
I get my stitches out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's just an awesome picture of us, by the way.
It is. I just took it right before we started. After trying to get the Zoom meeting up on OBS, but that's all right. Hopefully by the time we do the next show, Alex will be out of quarantine. I'll be back in the dungeon again. Yeah, but back to your hands. How are you feeling? How are they feeling? Other than the soreness from the surgery,
Fine,
that is.
RoboTuner. Thanks for asking.
Why are you giving me a look like that?
Since the surgery?
Because you were asking me in your radio voice.
My radio voice?
Yes.
I didn't try to ask you in my radio voice.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I try to ask you in my radio voice, Shelly.
No, that's my RoboTuner voice. Yeah, that's FM DJ right there. But still on the subject of you have some good news to share with us.
Yes, I do. I had a job interview on...
It was Thursday.
Thursday.
I think. Yeah, Thursday.
And I have a little story about it, even though it's not really that interesting. It's still, a story.
All right, fuck it. Let's go on then. Just kidding. Go on.
Anyway.
You set yourself up for that one.
So we left for Mom's house on Wednesday. And, we rush packed and rushed ourselves into the car. And I, partially down the road, we had already gone too far at this point. I realized I have no makeup. And I have a job interview the next day. And so I was like, great. What am I going to do? I was like, I don't want to blow a bunch of money on really expensive makeup because this is just for one job interview. So we ended up going to the Family Dollar store and I ended up getting a bunch of cheap makeup and I made it work. And the next day I had my job interview. My interview was supposed to be for an hour. And the owner of the company jumped in the meeting probably about 15 minutes in and he goes, "You're hired." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm hired."
Was he even supposed to be part of the interview?
No, it ended up being a 4-panel interview. I don't know why I always get interviews with like 10 people on the panel and I'm all like, okay.
Stop playing crickets over there, Thunder K.
That's out of control.
I know. They just high-fived each other. They're still on mute. Go on.
Anyway, so
assholes.
Apparently, when we were doing an overview of the software, I was talking accounting, and they liked what I said, so they were going to hire me no matter what. Don't even think I had to do the interview. But I talked to the guys, and another funny thing that happened was the day I had my surgery, they called me to schedule the interview.
Oh, that's right. Was it before or it was after, wasn't it?
It was after.
That's
and
right.
I was still real groggy. And I don't normally answer the phone unless it's like +1 so I can screw with whoever's on the phone. Like if it's out of the country and I can.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, your extended warranty is expired or whatever. So I usually just mess with those people because it's fun. But anyway, I don't usually answer a phone call from out of state. But for some reason, I decided, fuck it. answered it, and I think it has a lot to do with the anesthesia. So I answered, and he's like, Shelly? And I'm answering the phone like, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Like I'd been sleeping. And
I'm high on morphine right now.
And the guy was like, he was like, what is her time zone? You know, like, did I call her too early? What's happening? He's in California.
Yeah,
like,
they're only 2 hours behind us.
They're the latest time zone that we have, right?
Hawaii, actually.
Well, I'm not in Hawaii, obviously, right?
In the U.S.
And he knew I was in Texas. So he's like, what's going on? And I said, sorry, I just had surgery today. He goes, oh, I didn't even know. And I said, I'm so sorry.
There's no way you could have known.
I said, I don't know what's, I go, I just got out of surgery. I'm just laying here. And he's like, well, I called because we want to schedule an interview with you. And I was like, oh, great. I was like, what email did you send? Or I said, he said he sent the invite to an email. And I said, okay, great. And he goes, just out of curiosity, do you know what's happening? Like, you know, what's expected? And I said, yeah, I'm supposed to do an interview. You guys are going to hire me. And he was like, and then I said, with approval. Cause I was, halfway out of it. So he laughed because that was funny. Cause I was like, you guys are going to hire me, you know? So anyway, then I called him back and I was like, hey, could you tell me what email you sent that invite to? And then I called my ex-boss and said, hey, what email do you have? Because he didn't get right back to me.
Yeah.
And he told me, and I was like, oh, that email. So I went and checked it and saw the interview and then planned it from there.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited for you, though. You start on the 28th, right?
Yeah. Sorry, it was a long, drawn-out, stupid story, but it was fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it'll be good in a sense for you to get back to work, and I know you're kind of sad right now because you can't do any of your crafts right now because of your surgery.
I'm sad because I got this really kick-ass laser.
Yeah, that's right. That engraver, right?
Well, it's a laser cutter. It cuts sheet metal like the aluminum that we have.
It's a plasma cutter?
Yeah. It's a plasma cutter.
Yeah, it's one that just goes along rails. You just set it on a flat surface and put whatever you want to engrave underneath it, right?
So my first goal,
almost like a 3D printer,
is to create a chandelier with Star Wars cutouts.
And that is going to be so badass.
Yeah.
Is it going to hang so low that we crack our skulls open on it?
No, it'll be it'll be in between the two ceiling fans in the dining room.
So yes.
No, it won't be that low. It's
actually it'd probably be more dangerous. You'll hang it from the ceiling fan, and then you'll just have these X-wings swing around.
It won't be hanging from the ceiling fan.
Yeah, that'd be cool though. They'd be flying around the ceiling fan.
My parents got me it.
Yeah, so that's. Do you have anything else in mind that you wanted to use it for?
I think it's a plasma cutter. I'll have to look at it. I think it is. I know it cuts metal.
It's an engraver, yeah.
No, it's not an engraver. You keep saying that. It does engraving, yes, but it does more than that.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh, okay. All right. So, on other news for this week, one of the most anticipated games of 2020 finally came out on, I think, Wednesday or Tuesday. One of the days this week. Anyway, that game is Cyberpunk 2077, based on the tabletop RPGs that were, I guess, popular in the 80s and 90s. And this was also the very first game that CD Projekt Red, the same company that did The Witcher, had. It's the first game that they've done since The Witcher 3, actually, which was one of the highest rated games of the last 10 years. So it's been hyped up for at least the last 2 or 3 years, I want to say. And the release date had been pushed back again and again and again. And fans were just chomping at the bit. Well, it finally released. I'm not getting it. At least not now, and I'll tell you why. First off, on the first day of release, actually the day zero, they had already released a 48 gigabyte patch because it had so many bugs in it. And not only that, even with the day one patch, people were bitching left and right about all kinds of performance issues on the previous gen consoles, those being the Xbox One and the PS4, even the PS4 Pros. But those were playing it on the newer systems, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. They weren't complaining as much.
Justin's been playing it on his computer, and he said aside from some asset bugs, with like NPCs and whatnot, he hasn't had any problems. He's already beat the game.
Oh, geez, already?
Yeah.
Of course, this is just what we're talking about.
There's one of 6 endings. I apologize. There are 6. He told me there's like 6 endings. I've never played the game. I don't really know much about it.
That's something else that I just remembered. So, like this game and several other open world RPG type or style of action adventure games, you can customize your character. But guess what else you can customize in this game? Your penis size.
Why would you?
Unless you want to use it as a weapon.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that actually has any real value to it in the game itself, or if it's just something that the developers just threw in that if you wanted to change the size of your schlong on. What?
They're always chasing, virtual realism, right? So why not?
Yeah.
You can adjust women's breast size, and that's been the case for a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say
I think they should equal the sexes out and let the man choose his schlong size.
Yeah, but the smallest schlong is 5 inches, so I mean.
That's an improvement for you, buddy.
Dustin in the chat room from JJTM. I'm pissed you can't customize your labia.
Do you want a piercing or do you not want a piercing?
Yeah, see Hadougan from the bed files. She would get a kick out of that.
Do you want a 70s fro? Do you want little cutouts?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want like puffy bush or well groomed T-shaped?
Yeah.
I read a meme that cracked me up this week.
What's that?
It was men with beards who wear a mask look like women's underwear commercials from the 70s.
I have not heard that one before. That's pretty good.
Hey, I just sent you on Facebook. I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
I'm sending you a link that I want you to post in chat.
Oh, that you'd like for me to post in chat? Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I find you on my list, I don't message you there anymore.
Y'all aren't friends on Facebook.
Yeah, we're friends. Okay, here's the link.
I figured he unfriended you that day you gave me his password, and I posted that he liked Nickelback.
Oh, no. Unfriending your current significant other is like a deal breaker.
Yeah, it is. You don't do that shit. And I've got the 20-watt one, which is the highest wattage.
Dad already unfriended Mom like 5 years ago.
That's not true.
Okay.
I have 2 of your mother's accounts friended on mine.
Now, what do you guys think about Thunder K, do you happen to know anybody that has a joint Facebook account? Like, that's a couple?
Ew. I think that's
Yes,
so
I do,
stupid.
actually. I know a couple of people.
Is that right?
Yeah. Who was it? There was...
Is it this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go on.
Huh? Ricky and Sharon, and then Randy and Dee do, don't they?
No.
No, I don't think they do.
Who else does? I know somebody else. Somebody who doesn't like Facebook. And I think Robert and his wife do, actually.
Oh, it's too long. I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, you
It
can
won't
only
let you?
You can only do 200 characters in chat.
Okay, well, just...
I'll send it to him afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, sorry, Dustin from JGTM. I was trying to put something in the chat room for you. That was a link,
Here,
but
I'll
the link's
just
too
send
long.
it to him on Facebook.
Okay. That can be done too.
Yep.
All right. So, with the release of Cyberpunk 2077 and my not paying attention to it for the initial release, that actually gives a pretty big precursor to our segment about the Epic Mega Games free games of the week. And I say that because now I'm not going to talk about the 2 games this week because I haven't played them and I'm...
Why don't you let Kenneth say?
Yeah.
I played them, actually. I did. I sat down and played them for a little bit.
Yeah, but I was going to right before I'll turn it over to you. I was going to say next week, starting on December the 16th, I believe, they're going to release a free game every day of the week.
Yeah, for 15 days.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even teasing what games they're going to be.
Well, it's a surprise. Every day will be a surprise.
Yeah.
So
They did that last year.
Oh, did they?
Not that we're sponsored by Epic, although we won't be against it. But
I need to find out how we can get sponsored by Epic Mega Games. I mean, if we're going to talk about their free games every week, we might as well get paid for it, right?
I know we play them.
Sure, but I like telling people.
Even if it's fractions of a cent, fuck it, that still adds up over time. So in 5 years, we'll have maybe a dime.
So when we have a faulty
maybe
camera,
we could buy those pop screen filters.
Oh yes, pop screen filters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Made out of pantyhose and wire hangers, because I like the chance. All right, so yeah, what was your opinion of the 2 free games of the week, Thundercade?
Well, okay, at first we described them as like Diablo clones, and that's not necessarily the case. They're more like Baldur's Gate, if you remember.
Yeah, I played Baldur's Gate 2 for PS2.
It's kind of like a mixture. No, it's nothing like Diablo, because Diablo is like, you basically spawn a key and then you swing your sword, or you just click on an enemy and swing your sword.
Yeah, they automatically
These
attack.
are kind of like top-down EverQuest type clients or RPGs, so they're a lot more like Baldur's Gate than they are than Diablo. And both of them are so close to the same, it's ridiculous. One of them is $50 or $40. $40.
It was 50.
Was it 50?
It was 50.
One of them was $50. The other one was $30, and they're gonna let them go for free this week. And
oh wow,
they're actually not low quality games. They're pretty good. There's a lot of. One of them is slightly better than the other, and I don't have them pulled up. One of them is slightly better than the other, but
yeah,
it's like Tyranny and.
I'm pulling the game up right now. I'm sorry. So professional. So, the Pillars of Eternity is actually so far a superior game in my opinion, and it's the one that is regularly $40. And the other one is not bad. It's just. And it's got voice acting, whereas the other one doesn't. Like all the lines are voice acted.
Yeah.
And it's $50, which is probably why it's $50. And it comes with all the DLCs. They're RPGs, so expect a lot of reading
and a lot of grinding.
Yeah, exactly.
And what are the games again?
There's so many character classes you can play on Pillars of Eternity. It literally took 10 minutes for me to create a character. So, I ended up with a wood elf druid that had 2 specialties. I could do lightning and I can dual wield swords.
You're on camera.
And so I played through the storyline for a little bit.
Yeah.
The other one, Tyranny, which is the cheaper of the two, I think it's $30. It's a little hard, a little bit of a steep curve, even though it has voice acting everywhere. It took me 2 or 3 minutes to figure out how to even get into the game to play.
That long? Jeez.
So I don't know. I prefer the Pillars of Eternity, but they both seem to be very good quality games for free, especially for free.
I like free.
The Pillars of Eternity is actually a crowdfunded game.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
I didn't either until you log into the game and it tells you that this game was made possible by crowdfunding, blah blah blah, and they rose, was it $77,000 or something like that to make the game?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Really, which isn't a lot of money actually, but it's a really good quality game.
Yeah, I was gonna say the new Shaq Fu game was also crowdfunded. It reached like $250,000 for its crowdfunder. And it was just a straightforward, ridiculous game that, I guess, rode the infamy of the original release and why it was so bad.
Well, the other game is supposed to be touting like infinite playability. Like there's so many different lines you can go down. Tyranny is the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That you can play the game differently every time, so they say. I made it probably about an hour into the game, and it just seemed really boring to me. But maybe it got a little better later. I just didn't have a whole lot of time to review it, but because it just came out on Thursday.
Okay.
But they're both decent games. Neither one of them are multiplayer. They're just single player RPGs.
Oh, speaking of which, I actually played a little bit more of the Texture Assist while I was at your mom's house.
That's part of what, gave me
the inspiration for those lyrics you sent me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because the game is a bullet hell action game. And if you know what bullet hell games are, they're ones where basically nearly the entire screen is
facing downward.
Yeah, no, where the entire screen is covered up with projectiles being shot at you.
Oh, yeah, that's
where
true.
you have very little room to move around. And playing this game as a single player on one keyboard is pretty difficult because not only do you have to move around and dodge these bullets, you also have to type whatever comes up on the screen. And if you get hit, there are a lot of times where you have to start over and type that same sentence again. It's all kinds of ridiculous, but the plot's even gotten more ridiculous. Anyway, well, that's awesome, Thunder Gay. I can't
feel like a faster typer now.
No, actually, I don't, because there's sometimes where you have to move around and dodge bullets with the arrow keys with your right hand
sucks.
and type with your left hand. And I've always been a two-hand typer, so I can't type very well with just one hand.
I can type just fine with one hand, but I can't type and scroll my character. Well, I can't type words while scrolling my character. I guess I can't multitask when it comes to typing.
All right, well, this next part is going to get pretty Star Wars heavy for those that are listening. So I've got quite a few things to talk about here.
We're 2 episodes behind right now, right?
What, on the Mandalorian?
Well, we didn't talk about last week's.
Oh, that's right, because we hadn't watched it yet.
Podcast because y'all hadn't seen it.
Yes, so we have seen that, and we have seen the one that just came out on Friday. So
Yes.
we are caught up.
We are caught up.
Are you guys caught up?
We just need to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. So, but before we get to Mandalorian, this last week was also a huge week for Star Wars announcements.
Yeah, it was like every 30 minutes they were releasing an announcement. Ba-ding,
yeah, so I just have the lists of shows here, but I don't have the release dates. It's I can't remember what event these were shown or announced, but I just have the list of them. So of course, The Mandalorian, which we're going to be talking about later, The Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. Ahsoka's actually getting her own series. I'm hyped as fuck about that. I loved her. I love her portrayal by Rosario Dawson. And then we also have Andor, and then the long rumored Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yep.
I guess I was finally greenlit because I had just seen that as a rumor for years now. And
who's playing Obi-Wan?
Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
And it's also speculated that Hayden Christensen may be playing as Darth Vader post Mustafar. Of course, this entire series is going to be after post Mustafar, obviously.
Been in contract with him.
What?
There's people up in arms about it, but.
Oh, what about Hayden Christensen?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know who else is coming back?
Who?
Well, not specifically Samuel L. Jackson, but his character in the Mace Windu is coming back.
Oh, sweet.
That's a little confusing.
Well, actually, he didn't really get run through by a blade, so it's possible.
He jumped out that window, right?
He was pushed out the window with force like. Okay, yeah, Dustin just said not speculated. He is in it. He is going to be in it. But that does bring up an interesting point. So if fucking Sheev Palpatine can be thrown down a reactor of the second Death Star and somehow survive, why can't Mace Windu survive being thrown out of, 20, 30-story building on Coruscant and possibly land and survive? Anyway, So yeah, after Obi-Wan Kenobi, we also have The Bad Batch, which I do know I have seen a.
Is it live action or cartoon?
No, this one's going to be computer animated. So I guess this one is about a group of clones, and
they're from the original series, the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars.
Yeah. So I did see a teaser trailer for that a couple months ago. That one looks pretty good. And then after that, what?
If you ever see him in the Clone Wars show, those were really good episodes of Clone Wars, when they talked about the Bad Batch.
Okay.
Yeah, that last season was good. It was just like the first 4 episodes were really good, and the last 4 episodes were really good. The middle was okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So if you haven't seen the last season, Matt or RoboTuner of the Clone Wars, it's worth watching just the last season, because it completely butts up against the last of the first trilogy.
Yeah, and I also heard that it overlaps the opening scene in episode 3, because I just figured that they would stop right before episode 3 started, but I actually heard that it goes a little bit beyond it.
Yeah,
with the last couple episodes.
So I always go to IMDb to look and see if people are working on certain shows. I don't see it where it shows that he's worked on it, but maybe they're hiding it.
Could be.
What?
Samuel Jackson. But
he's not going to come back as Mace Windu.
Well, it was a rumor in September.
There's going to be a new actor for Mace Windu. That's what I've read.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the person.
Yeah, Dustin had in the chat room had a good point. Anakin jumped from a moving vehicle in Coruscant and then sailed into the air onto another moving vehicle. Mace can surely come back from being pushed out a window.
Was the only person that Emperor Palpatine truly feared.
I do remember that, yeah, and that's another reason why that's another reason why Yoda didn't want Obi-Wan fighting Palpatine head on.
Wouldn't it be weird if Mace Windu was the one who saved Grogu?
Ooh, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be, and a little coincidental too.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to remember this particular occurrence, so that way if that does turn out to be true, we can actually call it out. Occurrence 113. All right,
because I've seen theories that Anakin Skywalker saved Grogu. I've seen theories that Master Yoda saved Grogu, but I don't know, if Mace Windu is supposed to show up in this season, from what I'm reading here, Mandalorian season 2, Mace Windu is supposed to return, and maybe Mace Windu is the one who answers the call of the Jedi.
Ooh, that's what I've read that too.
Maybe so.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be. Yeah, because
I'd love to see that purple lightsaber again.
Yeah, or at least see it teased. All right, so let me get through the rest of these new shows here. So, yeah, like I mentioned, there was a Bad Batch, and then Visions, which I haven't heard anything about this one, but from what I understand, this is also an animated one, and I think a Japanese studio is doing it. They're going to be doing a bunch of Star Wars-related shorts.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them on iFunny, some teasers.
Oh, really?
Of the Japanese stuff.
Okay. And then after Visions, we have Lando. I'm excited as hell about this. Now, I don't know if this is going to be live action or animated. Like I said, I just have the list here. I don't have any details or potential release dates.
What is it?
Lando.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Now, if it's live action, I can imagine.
Daughter, right? Because isn't that one of the loose ends that were dangled?
What?
One of the loose ends that were dangled. Is this Lando after the last trilogy, or is this an earlier Lando?
Like like maybe a younger Lando before Episode 4 came out, or after Solo. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I don't have any details. I just have the list.
I just know that during the last movie, the Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he find his daughter at the very end of that movie?
Potential.
They allude to it.
Yeah, they alluded to her being his daughter, and then in alternate copies of the script, they actually said that she is his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just read that the first live-action series in the franchise, The Mandalorian, premiered in November 2019 and spawned 2 spin-offs, Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka. Additional live-action series include Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Acolyte, and Lando. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
This sounds like it's going the way of the Marvel movies on Netflix.
Yeah,
You know
possibly.
how it's like Daredevil and Luke Cage and all them had all those crossovers.
I loved every single one of them.
Yeah, except I didn't really care for the Punisher though.
Oh yeah, the Punisher was not my favorite.
I mean, Iron Fist was kind of weak story-wise, but it had some okay fight scenes. I actually it actually kept my interest enough to watch the entire series.
I actually love Daredevil, and I love Jessica Jones.
Yeah, Jessica Jones was great.
And
I think the first season was way better than the second season.
Of what?
Jessica Jones.
Yes, I agree.
The first season had a bad guy that was truly
Kilgrave,
somebody who somebody would fear. You know, somebody who could make you do things you don't want to do.
Played by David Tennant.
Yeah.
I like the storyline in what's the other one with the fist?
Iron Fist.
Yeah, the Iron
Yeah,
Fist.
that's what I'm saying. That one was the story on that one was kind of weak, but it had some okay fight scenes and enough just to keep.
I liked the storyline.
Daredevil had a lot better fight scenes though.
Okay, I agree. Fight
Yeah,
scenes
they
wise,
did. They
but
were
the
choreographed
storyline
a
was
lot
better
better.
for the Fist.
And I thought the way that
Yeah.
Iron Fist kind of ended in his last season was really weak, where he passed on his power to his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was just talking about the fact that it was a secret society, which is my favorite kind of thing.
Not that I don't like the girl having powers. I just don't understand why it didn't make sense to me story-wise why he would have done that. But anyway, I really enjoyed all those. I just hope they don't turn out to be all drama and goofy like the DC series.
Oh yeah.
End up being.
Well, Dustin just mentioned, none of you brought up the question, if Mace Windu is the Jedi to answer the call, how will Boba Fett handle him showing up?
Well, I think that's pretty obvious, don't
the
you?
Drama right
Because he's
there.
the one that killed his father, Django.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes, you know what, that when he brought up the armor and he showed the Mandalorian the code that proved that was his armor, he brought up that this was my father's armor before it was mine.
Yeah, and he recognized him that his father Django was a founder of the Mandalore Creed or something among those lines. I know I'm botching this. All right, so you mentioned the Acolyte, and then the other two that they announced, which I don't have any details on, are a droid story and a Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I don't see the droid story on this, and I don't see Rogue Squadron, but that could be that it just hasn't updated yet.
Or they haven't finished production or have any teaser trailers.
Yeah. Now, before we go on to talk about the last 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, there is something that I want to mention, which Dustin from JJTM brought up to me, which coincidentally I did hear about a couple days ago. So, in the somewhat tolerable suburb that Matt Stubbs has campaigned for and, albeit unsuccessfully for, to be mayor of, which is the city of Watauga. One of their comic stores by the name of Pastime Comics and Collectibles is actually having Ray Park, the actor who plays Darth Maul, signing autographs on December 18th, this coming Friday.
Which Darth Maul?
What do you mean, which? Are you talking about the actual actor, not the person that voiced him? Because
okay.
Because the guy.
I just want to be clear.
Oh yeah. The guy that voiced him is the guy that played the Tick, Peter Sanfovich, Serafanovich, or something like that. Anyway,
if he's not in full makeup, I'm out.
He probably won't be. I met Ray Park once before. I didn't.
I mean, only half of him. I don't want to see like both halves.
Not Darth Maul.
Cut in two.
We're not talking about Darth Maul, the character. We're talking about Ray Park here. And besides, we all know that his bottom half gets cybernetically.
Who cares about that guy? I want to see Darth Maul.
Is that why they only put the top half on the cup? They didn't put the bottom half.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, I used to have. That's right. We have the cup topper from Taco Bell from Phantom Menace. Oh, that's cool. I gotta remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he's gonna be at this comic book store in Watauga on Friday, December the 18th, from like 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 actually. Pastime Comics and Collectibles. He is actually charging for, like most celebrities do, for autographs and pictures and whatnot. But I may actually consider going up there and getting my picture taken with him. I don't know how long the line's going to be, but figure it's something cool to do. And I did get a picture of him years ago. I went to one of the first Dallas Fan Days, and he was the keynote speaker there. And he was just, after he was done speaking, he just got up and he was shaking hands with and having his picture taken with just anyone who wanted to. He wasn't charging or anything. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Peter Mayhew and Matt Wood, who's the guy that does General Grievous's voice, were also there.
Hey, speaking
and
of
one of
Peter
one of the Imperial generals from episode 4.
Hey, Kenneth.
Yeah.
Peter Mayhew is buried in the cemetery in Boyd.
Cool. The one with the one with the alien.
That's what I'm thinking. The one with, yeah.
Does he have a Wookiee statue? Because
I don't know, but I was like, why don't we take a trip out there one day?
Yeah, I was going to say I've only
live from the graveyard. Peter Mayhew.
I've actually only found one video on YouTube of someone that actually went out to the cemetery he's buried in, and it was, I think, barely a month after he passed, and they just had a temporary marker there, and a bouquet of flowers. They actually didn't have a fully developed gravestone yet. So I imagine they do now, but I think that would be a cool thing
somebody doesn't try to steal that thing.
Steal what thing? What, his grave?
His stone.
His stone? Gravestone?
Yeah, it's actually, it's not the one with the alien. It's Azelland Memorial Park in Reno, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It's like just right
That's
down the road.
where Kim's mom is buried in.
Oh, yeah.
That's not where they're buried. What? I'm sorry.
Hazelland?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
We're talking about Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chewbacca.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the guy that played Chewbacca.
The alien grave is unmarked because I'm showing a tombstone for Peter Mayhew.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dustin just said he's been to it several times. It is an unmarked grave still.
For the alien or
No,
Peter Mayhew?
For Peter Mayhew.
Because I'm looking at his stone right now.
Oh.
They had to do that with. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm blanking. What is the guy's name who shot Lee Harvey Oswald? They had to do that with Lee Harvey Oswald because they kept stealing his tombstone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Drag
they
it
would
on the
tie
ground.
it to the bumper of their car or something, and then drag it off.
Oh, just by means of a. Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
he's
that's
talking
what I
about the
thought it was
alien.
the alien,
Okay,
yeah.
the alien grave. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, want to make sure I got my statements right here. I was gonna say, man. All right, so yes, so now that we've gotten past the big Star Wars events, now we can finally talk about The Mandalorian, and specifically, we're gonna cover the last two episodes because we didn't. Shelly / Sushi and I hadn't had a chance to watch it before our last occurrence. So
yeah, and we really need to cover the one before it because obviously Boba Fett re-enters. I know he was in a previous episode, but he actually re-enters as Boba Fett. You know,
trying to get his
declaratively.
Mandalorian armor that his father had.
Yeah, after the armor,
Yep.
and I thought that was really kind of a neat. Because he's not really Mandalorian; he's a clone of a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I lived next to the. Hold on one second, Dustin. I used to live next to that cemetery. I used to walk it all the time. And he does have a tombstone, by the way.
Well, it's not like all the other ones. It's very.
It's like flat on the ground, and it just says Oswald on it.
It's basically more like a tag.
Yeah.
Like what they put at the foot of a grave.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no. It's a whole stone. It's
Did he really?
It's like the size of a
Richard Hennessy.
laptop, and it just says Oswald on it. I can show you where it's at.
Okay. Oh, Henry the Archer actually did a photo shoot next to the tombstone, or at least Richard did, their singer.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My
I didn't know that.
My mama and my nana are buried in that cemetery.
Which is your great-grandparents?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought, because I know you said they lived in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Or at some time in their life.
That's one of the reasons why they picked our Mama's house for the JFK movie.
Yeah, they did.
Was because they had a 1950s Ford in the front yard. And when they knocked on the door to see if they could use the car, they saw that in her house was just decor of 1950s and 60s.
Yeah, from that era.
Yeah, it had a green leather couch and milk glass lamps. And Mama said, she was like, this man, all he did was walk back and forth smoking cigarettes and cussing. Oh, he just kept going. She was so upset because he was cussing.
Joe Pesci.
It was Joe Pesci in her living room.
Joe Pesci.
She got paid $500 and they, catered it, right? So she got to keep all the chicken. She was all excited about the Kentucky Fried Chicken that they got to keep. Anyway.
they turned her garage into the jail scene for Lee Harvey Oswald.
They did do that too.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that fact before. That's cool. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, Dustin.
Yeah, so
I guess I haven't listened to that particular bit yet.
If you ever watched JFK the movie, just know that my great-grandmother's house was in it, and she was watching it go down. She had to be quiet. He told her that she couldn't talk about it, couldn't tell anybody about it until after they left. And so she was real quiet about it, didn't tell anybody. And then
she said that her front yard was littered with all kinds of equipment and food. And when they left, there wasn't even as much as a cigarette butt left on the ground.
Nope,
they cleaned it so
good.
Well, yeah. I mean, for a big budget Hollywood production, I wouldn't expect any less.
It was just really
because
cool.
they don't want to come back and deal with the aftermath.
Yeah, it was just really cool that it happened to her. She was so happy. She was in her, was she in her 80s?
Yeah, she was in her 80s.
She was really old.
What are the odds? Seriously.
Well, what are the odds of your great-grandmothers living right next door to each other on top of that?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Although, do you think grandfather and grandmother may have had something to do with it?
I don't. No. No.
These are their grandparents from their mother's side, by the way.
I don't. We can talk about that later because I asked that same question.
Well, they're our great-grandparents, actually.
Yeah, great-grandparents.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the
And they live down the street from the cemetery Oswald is buried.
Yeah, that's what we were
talking
about.
That's what we were mentioning earlier because Dustin brought it up in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, so so the last two episodes of Mandalorian. So yeah, first off, the return of Boba Fett. Now we did see him teased at I think the first episode of season 2 at the very end, or one of the early episodes. Yeah, and
actually he was teased when Mandalorian got his armor from the Jawas.
Yeah, he was teased on the hill.
Right, which was either the first or second episode this season. Yeah,
and he came after Mandalorian so he can get his armor back. That was there's such beauty in the way these stories are unfolding. It's like I wish that the movies would have been like, nostalgic but all brand new.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing the Mandalorian because I kind of feel the same way about it.
I like that they brought back what is their name? Fennec? Is that how you say it?
Oh, you're talking about Bill
Ming-Na Wen. Ming-Na Wen is the actress.
Oh yeah, Ming-Na Wen. Yeah.
Oh, Ming-Na Wen. Okay.
Yeah. But I like that they brought her back because I thought she had such a small part in the first season that I really wanted to see more from her. I love her as an actress, so it was really great to see her back in the game.
Yeah, because even though she was a villain, they instantly made her character pretty likable.
Yeah.
And I was kind of sad whenever she got killed off by that other outlaw that Din had befriended.
Yeah, I kind of figured she'd be coming back. I just didn't know in what way.
Yeah, and they made part of her body mechanical. She lifted up her shirt and you could see her torso.
Yeah, I was so upset because they killed her off. I was like, oh my god,
robotic.
I can't believe they just killed her off. But
so she became a cyborg. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, Grogu, aka the child, got kidnapped by Moff Gideon's troops.
I kind of wish I could see what Grogu was seeing when he was sitting on the stone.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. And now
maybe they'll reveal it. I don't know.
The only other time in any Star Wars products or movies or whatnot that I have seen that particular formation is Jedi Fallen Order. The save points. The save points in that game are very reminiscent of that stone that Grogu sat down on and meditated. And in any time that you meditate on those, basically the world around you disappears, and you're just sitting in this foggy abyss, surrounded by the, I guess, Horobesh or whatever the runes are, and you can either do training in solitude, or you can just have your health revived and go on about your mission, and the enemies respawn.
If you go back and watch the Star Wars Rebels, when Ezra was first learning about the Jedi, he went to a temple that was similar to how Grogu went to that rock. It was Yoda kind of guided him into that Jedi temple, but what Grogu went through was a way of transmitting out into the Force that he's looking for other Jedi.
Okay.
It was I don't know, I thought it was pretty badass when the Mandalorian would try to grab the child Grogu from the rock, and he'd get thrown back.
Yeah. Like he couldn't even he tried really hard to penetrate it so he can grab him, but he just couldn't. It's like he didn't learn his lesson the first time.
He was desperate. And there's obviously a genuine love for him, Grogu and the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And it was fear based, obviously.
In fact, in the last episode, they actually called him Grogu, the Mandalorian's child.
They
did. In the most recent episode, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of touching, it was
then the
kind of the first time you saw he is so desperate to get Grogu back, he actually removed his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we go talk about the most recent one, how pissed were you that the fucking Razor Crest just got obliterated?
Oh yeah.
I was just like, what is he gonna do
like,
now?
God damn it, man!
I just started liking this shit.
Got
I was
that,
thinking about getting the Lego set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's off. Yeah, and I don't know if a Razor Crest Lego set exists yet. It probably doesn't, because I'm sure Dustin would have already got it.
I so thought he went to that junkyard to go get him another ship or put him another ship together. I did not expect him. I did not expect to see the prisoner he was picking up there.
They do have a Razor Crest. Name.
Oh, they do?
Yes, it's $249.99 on eBay right now.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he didn't. Yeah, I didn't think that he would get a replacement ship so soon, because his main focus is getting Grogu back, and and then obviously,
we kind of have to have a ship now. I realize Slave One is his ride. For
now, he does have it. Okay. The Lego,
but. I realize the Slave One is his ride for now, but I figured that at some point he would need a ship to even be able to catch up to Grogu.
Yeah, but I think it's badass. I think it's badass that he's aboard the Slave One now, along with Boba and Ming-Na Wen's character, whatever it is. Oh, so Dustin said that he does have the Razor Crest Lego set, Kenneth, and it's been out for a few months, and he ordered it back in January and finally got it in August.
Do you think that the end goal is, I know that they're using Grogu for experiments, but do you think the end goal is to turn Grogu to the dark side of the Force?
No, they're taking blood. They're taking his blood, and I think what they're going to
I just said I know that they're...
Aside from that is what he's saying.
Aside from that, I mean, they're not going to... I don't think they're going to kill him, and if they turn him to the dark side of the Force, they can get as much blood as they want.
I mean,
what purpose would it serve to kill him, a powerful creature like Grogu?
I can see where you're going with that.
That very well could be.
I mean, because at the end of that episode, they they were letting him beat up on stormtroopers.
My question is how did?
And he showed him the lightsaber, and he said, "Do you remember this?" Well,
Oh yeah, the dark saber. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll remember it soon enough.
My question is how did Moff Gideon get the darksaber from Sabine?
We don't know. That's
there's
something that hasn't been revealed
I know,
yet.
I can't wait for that. That's my one answer.
But I do know that has some significance with the Battle of Mandalore, though. I did watch a YouTube video about that, and that's also revealed in the Clone Wars.
Well, Sabine
cartoon.
had it at the end of Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, did she?
There was 3 movies in timelines since then. So I don't know how he would have got the darksaber from Sabine, unless she, was captured or in the process of looking for Ezra. Which I'm kind of wondering if Ezra was
going to show up. Yeah. That's what I heard too, and it makes me wonder if they'll actually get the voice actor to play him, since they got Katie Sackhoff to play Bo-Katan, and she's the one that voiced her in the Rebels.
I swear to God, we just need to call Dustin during this segment of our show so that he can be on the phone and talk to us in person.
I know it.
He's so excited right now.
Well, he can't talk about this on JJTM because Stubbs does not watch it.
Well,
he doesn't have Dub Plus.
This is why I think you need to plan it with Dustin so that when we do talk, we can just
give him the
a
Zoom call. He could hop on.
Yeah. We'll do it next time, Dustin. We'll plan it out with you.
Yes, very much so, because Dustin loves this show just as much as we do, and he doesn't really have anybody to talk about it with.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he does, but just not. He can't. He doesn't talk about it on his own show for, like I said, because Stubbs doesn't watch it.
Yeah. So, moving on to the episode we watched today.
Yeah, the most recent one. Yeah, Bill Burr guest starred in it as Mayfield, which we saw him in the first season because he fucked him on that job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I kind of thought there'd be some animosity there, but
Me too, but
I really kind of like Bill Burr's character, and I don't think it's the last time we're going to see him.
I don't either. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Sushi, you and I did look back through the episode to see if there were any minute details. Now they start off on that junk planet. What was it called? It's in my notes. The Carthan ship fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where there's just a bunch of Imperial remnants of their vehicles and whatnot. We saw more of the AT walkers that were converted into construction vehicles, which we also saw on that Marina planet where Bo-Katan was.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin, are you kidding me? This Friday is the season finale already?
Oh, it feels like it's such a short season.
I know.
It just started.
Well, now we'll have all these other ones to fill our time.
How many episodes have we watched?
Or maybe I'll just go download Star Wars The Old Republic just to hold me over. It's free.
We need to watch the Clone Wars and
Rebels,
and
yes.
Rebels.
So we can get caught up on all the
They're
lore
really
that's tied into The
significant
Mandalorian.
lore.
Yeah.
And we definitely need to take notes because ADHD and my lack of holding on to memory, apparently, doesn't do well for us for our show. So we need to take notes while we watch it.
I know it. Hey, Joe Rogan's guilty of the same thing, and he has millions of listeners every week.
I mean, I get into it. I watch the show. I'm excited. But then I walk away and do something else. And then our show's on Sunday, and I'm like, what did we even do? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I like Mayfield, Bill Burr's character, and yeah, the most significant thing as far as a storyline that I think happened was the fact that Din took off his helmet in order to upload the keys to Moff Gideon's coordinates.
I mean, that was huge. That was a huge. There was a huge takeaway there. He's desperate.
Yes.
He wants this child back. He has feelings for this child, and then not only that, the message that he sent Moff Gideon, the sentiment that was in
it was
that
almost
message.
like Taken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a particular set of skills.
Which is also a not interesting throwback because Liam Neeson played Qui-Gon Jinn, but the line was not taken from a Star Wars movie.
The circle is complete.
Somewhat complete.
The guy from Taken is Qui-Gon Jinn, and
it all comes around. Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Dustin said that Sabine gave the darksaber to Bo-Katan, who took it reluctantly. Bo lost it during the Great Purge.
Oh, that's right.
Also good to know. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty significant, and I had a feeling earlier in the show that was going to happen because when they were still in the transport, that
We need to watch it.
Mayfield, Bill Burr's character, was saying, "Yeah, just are you one of those people that's always going to go to your code, or are desperate times going to make you change your morals?"
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so I got a theory.
What's your theory?
And it's not a particularly good one.
Okay,
but they seem to be following Star Wars Rebels. They seem to be following it pretty closely. They brought back Ahsoka Tano. They have the Darksaber. They're after Admiral Thrawn.
Admiral Thrawn's been mentioned, yes.
And
by Ahsoka, but not by Din.
I believe that Ahsoka Tano is looking for Ezra. So if all that is true, does that mean that they're going to try to introduce the what are those portals called to the past?
Oh, the don't get me line. I don't know.
I can't remember what they're called, but in Star Wars Rebels, there are portals to the past, and the Emperor was trying to gain access to them so he could change the past. Do you think that Star Wars is going in there to kind of reset the timeline for the last 3 movies?
Man, I really don't know, and
World Between Worlds is the name of the portal.
There's a part of me that really wishes that they don't do that, only because I know that's what they did with the X-Men cinematic universe, and they just did it to a point to where I didn't give a shit about anything else that they put in after that point.
I think next.
I don't know. I would have to disagree only in that, and I'm sorry, Shelley, I didn't mean to step on you, but
okay.
Only in that it would not be Kathleen Kennedy doing the movies. It would actually be
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni and
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau doing the movies.
Yeah, because Dave Filoni also had a hand in Rebels.
Why don't
I do feel like they're a cop out, Dustin. I agree with you, but I don't know. They're following the Rebels timeline. It seems like they are. I mean, it's a possibility that they kind of reset the timeline, and I've heard rumors about it. I don't know if it's true, but again, this wouldn't be like the movies disappear forever. It would just be maybe
alternate timeline.
Maybe an alternate timeline that, at that point, you could pick and choose which story you like better, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I do know that the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special did feature a time portal.
It did. He's right. I was subjected to that.
Hey, I thought it was cute.
It was.
I really liked it.
It was.
I think it was right up in there with the original Star Wars Christmas.
It's the Star Wars Holiday Special that nobody asked for, but it's the one we deserve as fans.
Dad, you fell asleep in the middle of it.
You can't give in the middle of it. I only slept through the end.
Are you talking about the original one from the 70s?
No, the one the
Lego one.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lego one was great. The original one from the 70s is shit. I can't even manage to watch the abridged version on YouTube, which is 20 minutes.
You didn't like the Wookiee family Christmas?
The only good thing that the masses have to say about that is that it was the debut of Boba Fett. They featured a little animated sequence, and he was in it.
Yeah.
All I want to know is, how did Chewbacca go from having a wife and a child to not having either one of them?
Yeah, to being stagged throughout the entire
on a ship with Han Solo.
Right.
Yeah, being stagged throughout the entire saga.
And where's Chewbacca's kid now?
He's grown up. He's become a military.
Or maybe he's become a deadbeat dad. Maybe they died on Kashyyyk while he was
a really fuzzy stormtrooper.
Wait. The Battle of Kashyyyk was before Episode 4. Duh.
Maybe, guys.
I'm getting my stories mixed up.
Chewbacca, we've given him too much credit. Maybe he's that dad that goes off and creates a band and doesn't give a crap about his kids. Maybe he's that dad.
The next time we drive out to Boyd,
Han Solo, wasn't
I won't speak of names there, but Kenneth, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know.
I know who you're talking about.
Who?
Your
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You're right.
The father of your step siblings.
Hey, why do you? I said that's enough.
I didn't say his name.
Okay.
But anybody who listens to this is going to know who you're talking about.
I know. Anyway.
Nobody else in your family listens to us.
True
That's
that.
true. You're right. That's right. They
Yeah.
don't listen to me
Well-
anyway. So
We
they-
don't know. We don't know if Jason doesn't.
Jason might.
Jason might.
Yeah, he might listen to it. We post it on our pages, and he does listen to some of our stuff. I think. We'll see.
At any rate, so if we have such problems with Chewbacca's morals as far as being a father, why don't we just go scream at Peter Mayhew's grave next time whenever we actually go out and visit it?
I would, but I don't know Wookiee.
Oh, it's Sheerwook.
This is RoboTuner's idea that he knows every language.
Hey, I can't decode Arabesh worth of shit from
He speaks
sight.
Japanese. He speaks Chinese. He speaks German. Now he speaks
Deutsch.
Wookiee.
Mein Deutsch ist nicht gut. Ein kleiner Sprach.
You can't mix English words in with German words and then think you know German.
Oh shit! All right, so do we want to talk any more about Mandalorian? About the
I think
about
we're
the
done,
significant
but I think
events?
our
There's a
next-
million other things that we could probably cover, but
Yeah, I know it.
we probably need to move on.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is, why don't we talk about dedicating our next show, since it's the Mandalorian finale.
To talking about it, we can.
Yeah, we could dedicate the majority of our show, just leave out video games, and I still want to talk. Maybe I can find some news about Star Wars, like weird news. I don't know.
Yeah, because that'll be our last show before Christmas.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so now it's time for Sushi Conspiracies. Here we go.
No, I thought it was Sushi News.
Oh, okay. well, I don't have the Sushi News soundbite pulled up. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sushi News. There.
Yeah. A Florida man was charged with assaulting his girlfriend over who ate the last chocolate chip cookie.
Are you sure you want me to be a representative of the American people, Dustin? I don't think that would be a good idea.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
RoboTutor's propaganda podcast is what this is going to turn into.
Oh, Lord.
RPP.
Back to the Florida man. A Florida man was charged with assaulting his girlfriend over who ate the last chocolate chip cookie. In Port Lucia, the police responded to their home on Astor Road on December the 14th.
Why is this news? Keep going.
You know why it's news.
Over a chocolate chip cookie?
That's right. Richard Anthony Hessick told police he was upset when he discovered someone ate the last chocolate chip cookie and that his girlfriend was not taking him seriously. His girlfriend said she joked with him about reviewing surveillance cameras to determine who ate the cookie and did not want to argue over something so petty. So she offered to purchase more cookies, according to his affidavit. After she went to take a shower, he followed her into the bathroom and he felt she was blowing him off. So he ripped down the shower curtain.
Damn, that's a little graphic.
And punched her in the left side of her face.
Oh, not that blowing off. Okay.
Police say they didn't notice any swelling or bruising on the victim's face. And then the guy was arrested and charged with battery.
Okay.
So
that's what the gist of it is. I thought it was just some story about a chocolate chip cookie and the police getting called.
I know, really, I read this story because it is similar in our household, except I'm the violent one because I go around in the kitchen. I'm like, okay, we have any cookies? Let's go. I go looking for cookies, and gosh dang it, there's no cookies. And I'm like, who ate all the cookies? And you ask him, and he's like, no, I didn't eat all the cookies, Shelly. I didn't eat any cookies, Shelly. And he's got cookie crumbs on his face.
It's like that scene from Alice in Wonderland where the Red Queen goes like, "Who ate my pastries?"
Or who painted my roses red? Yeah.
Someone throw you in the garbage or punch you in the face.
Lewis Carroll was high on opium whenever he wrote that entire series.
Woman stored dead body in trash can, stole Social Security benefits. A Manatee County woman has been charged with abuse of a dead body after detectives say she stored her roommate's body in a trash can and used his Social Security benefits. Manatee County Sheriff's Office detectives say Michelle Haney was living with 40-year-old John Christopher Leonard at a home on Windmill Manor Avenue. Back in July, Haney found Leonard dead inside the house, but she left his body on the bed for several weeks instead of calling authorities. Then, according to investigators, she stored his body in a closet for another 3 weeks, and eventually she put his body in a trash can, sealed it up, and took it to a neighbor's home. Haney allegedly told the neighbor she did not know what was inside the trash can and promised she would be back later to pick it up. The neighbor eventually grew suspicious after smelling a foul odor. Deputies say Haney, 48, admitted to doing this so she could use Social Security benefits after he died. Investigators said they believed he died of natural causes. It's a sad day when you treat someone like a piece of trash when he deserved a proper burial. Additional charges are expected.
Damn.
So those are my 2 weird news stories. And the only other thing I have is conspiracies, and it's just a tiny conspiracy. It's actually large. But
Okay.
we're back again.
Conspiracies.
We're back again to talk about the Great Reset. That's right. This is the extreme version of what to expect with the Great Reset.
I'm closing the shit. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was looking around trying to see if there was anything out there, anything at all that was like some sort of a plan, some sort of an explanation.
Yeah, related to the World Economic Forum. That's the official
Yeah, they keep
name.
talking about. I
gotta get a beer. Keep going.
You know what it's going to be like for companies out there. But what they haven't said, and I just happened to come across this one article, is the dollar and what happens to the dollar. So I was like, this is interesting. So we've got all this inflation right now because, you know, we printed new money a couple years ago, if you remember. And then we have had the
Printed new money this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a lot more. I think it was like 2008, 2009. We printed a ton of money, shit ton.
We printed a ton of money this year when we sent out the stimulus package.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying there. But that was because of COVID. That wasn't, I mean, I don't think Trump would have printed all that money or would have allowed all that money to be printed if we didn't have like some sort of weird, crazy pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. The pandemic is what's pushing us to this. But a lot of people have been talking about the Great Reset, for a while. But what they're saying is that the dollar is going to collapse. With the current world economic situation the way it is right now, they're talking about the U.S. dollar collapsing. What does that mean to us? So if the dollar collapses, how are we going to have money? Like the money that's in our wallets, the money that's in our banks, the money that we have, stashed away somewhere just in case. That money's going to be useless and not worth anything. It's just paper, right? It's supposed to be backed by gold, but it'll be just paper.
Well, our money hasn't been backed by gold ever since the Federal Reserve Bank was stood up.
Yeah, I know.
That was back in FDR's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, we have gold. But whatever. Here's the big deal.
It actually went from gold to what our country is worth, based off our resources and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So what they're saying is that what we need to start doing is buying land, buying properties, buying gold, buying silver, buying gemstones, buying anything that would be worth something, and you physically have it in your hand.
Well, you know what they've been doing in New York, right?
No.
Since the pandemic, and they have people locked down and they can't go to work. They and Mayor Bill de Blasio has said this, that he was buying property from people who couldn't afford to pay their mortgage in New York, so that people wouldn't leave. The city was buying him personally was buying the property. Mm-hmm. So he's got his name on a bunch of leases of property in New York right now.
Yep. And then they're also saying find a country whose foreign currency is still good and will be good if anything collapses, and buy that currency. Get their money and buy it.
Don't you think it makes sense though, and I don't mean make sense as in I want this to happen, but like if you're going to do a great reset, why would you? I mean, the devil's going to be in the details, and I just kind of feel like what they're going to try to propose is something like what the euro does. Currency that can be the same currency that can be used across several different countries.
Yeah. Most of the developed countries in Europe did adopt the euro, as their currency.
Yeah, but there was something that I read. It was a book. It was the description of this book. And it was a book about the Romans who used the same currency and how their economy failed because they used the same currency.
Well, I mean, if you want to go by that, then how many times has socialism failed, and then they still say that it just wasn't done right?
Right. I don't know. I'm just...
How could you not use the same argument that the currency... I'm not advocating for this, but I'm just saying that these could be arguments that could come forth from those,
and then
those types of...
Well, there's another one. It's the Bitcoin. They're bringing the Bitcoin in. And they're saying there's several reasons you should invest in the world's first digital currency. The world's economy is becoming more and more reliant on the internet, and the Bitcoin is an anticipated medium of digital trading. And right now, a Bitcoin is worth a lot of money.
I tell you that Bitcoins are both amazingly awesome and extremely scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing really tangible that you own other than internet currency.
Right, it's just out there. What
happens if all of a sudden you lose it, you know? Are you going to go out and trade your Bitcoins for toilet paper?
Well, think about it. It's like a credit. Maybe they'll put like little credit systems in your arm. So you just scan your credits and they take them from you.
So now we're going back to 1984.
Yeah.
A very Orwellian universe.
Now, the thing with Bitcoins is that it's, they only have a small amount of Bitcoins out there. Okay?
Yeah.
And the second thing with Bitcoins is, that was a bad thing. But the good thing is the Bitcoin has no geographical limits. It can be digitally moved anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin is highly divisible, a sign that it has value. The Bitcoin serves as an investment and as a medium for purchase of goods and services. A growing number of significant global companies recognize it as a mode of payment. And the Bitcoin is free of censorship and will not be blocked if for any reason a bank blocks or closes your dollar account. Now here's something else. Did you notice that like Visa and MasterCard, and I know this is totally off the subject, but they have banned themselves from being used on Pornhub?
I did hear that a couple days ago, yes.
So I think that's what they're saying about Bitcoin is...
Porn?
What?
Who pays for porn? Yeah, no shit.
I don't know.
Porn. That stuff's free.
You know what this means? That a lot more people are going to start subscribing to American Express.
But that's what they're saying about Bitcoin.
Don't leave home without it.
The Bitcoin can be used anywhere. But if the Bitcoin can be used anywhere, the Bitcoin can be used on the dark web.
Yeah. Do you know how much one Bitcoin is worth to the U.S. dollar?
Right now, it's $4,203, and that was actually by the end of 2018.
That's not what I see.
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. But that was the end of 2018.
All right, go ahead.
I couldn't hear you over Thunder K.
$4,203 per coin by the end of 2018.
Okay. Because I'm looking at something that says, as of today, one Bitcoin is worth $19,297 US dollars.
So what you're saying is it what? 300%? It went up by 300%?
It has a disclaimer here.
Well, see, that's the other thing about Bitcoin. It's kind of like stock. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down.
Yeah.
So your Bitcoin may be worth that much right now, but if something happens and it dips in value, or they decide some other digital currency is better, then you're competing against currencies.
Oh, and okay, Dustin just mentioned that Bill Gates just slipped up and said he's known about COVID for 5 years, and this is actually worse than he forecasted it to be. That is also another conspiracy theory that Microsoft did a test on COVID and how it would affect people if there was not COVID itself, but like a pandemic like this.
Yeah.
And what would happen. And that's why he said that he knew about COVID for 5 years and that it's actually worse than he forecasted it to be, because it is. Because him and his Microsoft Corporation did some sort of, I don't know what you would call it, like maybe like a video game. It's not really a video game, but it's like a simulation of what it would be like if we had a pandemic like COVID and what it would do.
Didn't your son used to have that mobile game? It was called Pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it though. That's not. It's like it was a real time, serious thing, not like that video game. Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
You know, COVID's been around forever. In fact, there's some biotics or antibiotic washes and creams that says it specifically kills COVID.
Yeah.
Coronavirus. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Corona, right? Which has been around forever.
If you want to know how to buy Bitcoin legally in the U.S., go to Investopedia.com and look up
Buy
Bitcoin.
some really crappy video cards and mine it yourself.
What?
You never heard of Bitcoin mining?
No.
That's how you, in the original days, that's how you gained Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. I knew about that because they actually talked about that on Big Bang Theory.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, that's a big thing. I mean, video cards were flying off the shelf because people would buy computers with multiple card slots, and they would put 5 or 6 graphics cards in a computer, and they would just run a program that all day long. It didn't even have outputs for video. They just used the processing power of the video card to go out on the internet and search for Bitcoin. And that's how some people were able to get a lot of their Bitcoin.
Through multiple graphics cards.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need you to test that out.
If you ever watched Linus Tech Tips, can't talk today. He shows you how to build a data miner, but I don't know. At this point, it's kind of, you're just going to get like portions of a Bitcoin, like 1/100th of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, but if you collect enough. I wonder if they have, you know how they have people that go into video games and mine the currency? I wonder if they have people doing that in other countries for Bitcoins.
Oh, people used to be really bad about doing that in World of Warcraft, I heard.
There is a shortage of video cards, especially older video cards, because they're buying them. They're flying off the shelf to make these Bitcoin miners.
That's crazy.
It is.
Well, that's all I have today for my conspiracy theories. I'm waiting for January, so when we actually have the plan that comes out at the World Economic Forum. And just so you know, Prince Charles, and Mr. Schwab are hosting it. And
Charles
it's not
Schwab?
going to be in, and I can't pronounce the word, starts with a D. It's a city they used to go to. It was like a skiing city. It's not going to be there this time.
Okay.
It's actually going to be in a village in Asia somewhere because of the pandemic.
Okay.
You hear Biden's for the Great Reset?
Yes, he is.
I'd love to know what the details are.
Yeah.
Okay, so with COVID, this is the first time an mRNA vaccine has been used on humans. That's kind of scary since it hasn't been fully tested or approved by the FDA.
Yeah, I didn't get into that because I'm waiting for the zombie apocalypse from the first set of coronavirus vaccines that are being put on people. I saw that there were a lot of conspiracy theories about this vaccine, but I didn't want to get into that because A, I don't want to scare people, and B, I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've seen so far is Bell's palsy, which is
temporary. It can be. It can be permanent. Bell's palsy can become permanent. It's not always temporary.
It's very rare for it to become permanent. Bell's palsy is basically dead cells that are wrapping around the nerves in your face. And over time, those cells will die off and deteriorate, and then Bell's palsy goes away.
God, that's insane.
I know this because our son had it when he had cancer.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, so he also says an mRNA vaccine redesigns your DNA to fight off the virus, but there's no telling what else it could do for your DNA or does do to your DNA.
For it to, give me superpowers.
Yeah, that's what everyone would hope for.
I want the ability to, just peek into other people's conversations.
Okay, so it's 71%.
That'll increase my creep factor by a 10.
71% of people can get the condition to resolve untreated. 71%. So
Okay.
if you go in and you're untreated, it'll resolve on its own.
But even treated, it's still
treated, you have a better
for it to be
chance.
for it to be permanent.
Are we talking about Bell's palsy still?
Yeah, I'm not doing the freaking.
Tim has to.
I'm not gonna do the. I told you I don't do those anyway.
Yeah.
You're an anti-vaxxer?
No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer completely, but I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, Kenneth, if you think about this on this level, they have worked on curing cancer for how many years?
We weren't going to go down this road.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this out loud. I want people to think about this in their minds. It's not a scary thing. It's just a thought. They've worked on trying to cure cancer for how many years? They've worked on trying to cure the flu, to cure the common cold for how many years? They don't have a cure for cancer. They don't have a cure for a common cold. They have a shot that you can get for the flu, and it's only certain strains of the flu, and it doesn't get rid of it. It just makes the symptoms lesser severe.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're going to tell me that in 6 months, they were able to, or not 6 months, a year. In 1 year, they were able to develop a vaccine for COVID.
I don't think that that's too out of whack, because there are new strains of flu every year. Because the flu mutates every year.
Yeah. I understand that. I do.
But I mean,
what about the strains we know
where
about?
They can take a strain of something and make a immunization for it in less than a year.
What about the strains we know about? How come they don't have
strains of what?
Of the flu. How come they don't have a pure cure? Yeah, they have a vaccination.
This COVID thing is not a cure.
Because it mutates every
It's a
year.
vaccination.
It does exactly what you said. It just lessens the symptoms, or it helps you fight off the flu for that. I don't think COVID's going away. I don't think anybody's even said it's going away.
I don't think anyone thinks that it is.
Except for maybe Trump that one time.
Yeah, see, Dustin thinks the same. I mean, it sounds like from what he wrote here that Dustin thinks the same thing I do. If you can't vaccinate the flu, then how can you vaccinate against COVID? And COVID changes. This isn't the only strain of
well, it's like I said, COVID's not going away.
Right.
Yeah.
They can take certain strains of viruses and immunize against them. If they know that influenza A is going to be worse this year, then they're going to immunize for influenza A. If they know that, COVID is going to be a reoccurring thing and it's mutated, then they just look at the mutation and adjust the vaccination, just like they do with the flu.
Well, I'm just going to wait a little bit.
I'm
still gonna be cautious. I'm still gonna wear my mask. I'm still going to not go out like I used to, and if I do, I'm still gonna wear my mask. Well, and I'm gonna watch and see what happens. To answer
Dustin's question about the 95%, it's not the 95% of the people who are healthy that I worry about. It's the 5% of the people who aren't healthy, who are immunized compromised.
Yeah.
Yeah, immunocompromised.
Diabetic bald guys.
Or the elderly.
My wife who doesn't have a spleen as for surgery.
Right.
So, to get those immunizations is not to help the healthy. It's to help those who are in trouble.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to watch everyone turn into a zombie. That's right, Dustin. That's right.
If someone really wanted to jumpstart the zombie apocalypse, they could have done so years ago by just dumping a couple hundred pounds of bath salts into the local water supply.
And I just want to say one thing about conspiracies.
That shit makes you a zombie.
Conspiracies in my mind are something to contemplate, something to think about, something to, mull around in your head a little bit, research. They don't always have to be true. They don't always have to be untrue, but it's something to get you thinking, get your mind going. Get out of the box. Don't be a
Don't be a square. Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody always sees conspiracies in such a negative connotation, but if everybody just sat around, accepted the status quo, like, oh, everything's perfect, everything's correct, nothing's ever wrong, the politicians are honest.
Right.
I mean, none of that, nothing is ever perfect.
No.
Politicians are not honest.
No, they're not.
So, yeah, there are conspiracy theories. Some of them are based in truth and maybe have gone a little awry, and some of them are just flat true and proved years later. So, no, I don't have a problem with conspiracies. I think there's some that are kind of wackadoodle, and then there's some that really have merit.
Yeah.
And just like the Great Reset, it worries me. I don't really see it as a conspiracy theory because there's so many people talking about it.
But we don't know what the plan is, so that's the conspiracy. Is the dollar gonna crash? Are they gonna make that happen? Are they just gonna reset companies out there so that they're and they're talking about debt, the major debt that our country has. Are they just gonna erase the debt and then we just go move on forward? Are they gonna?
No, that's not gonna happen.
I know. So that's where I need to know a plan. I see that they're into it. I don't know what they're gonna do.
That's like saying, okay, those who lent us money, y'all just forget we owe you money now.
I know.
We're at zero.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What bank and what person is going to be that way? Nobody.
You now own your house. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, we'll zero your debt out, but we're going to own it after.
I hear that. All right, so are we going to do Stump the Robo-Tuner tonight?
Yep, I've got.
Do you have questions?
Yep, already.
All right, let's do this.
How many Earths could fit inside the sun? Is it either A, 3, B, 1,300, or C, 1.3 million?
Alex, the intern.
Alex.
1.3 million.
Correct.
Ding, ding, ding. I don't have sound effects.
Really? That's an answer? Did you make that up? Or was that the actual...
That was the actual what you could choose from.
Yeah. Alex, I hope you're keeping score.
The sun is not just...
Did you go to a toddler website for this?
This is for geniuses.
What?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right. The sun is not just a lot bigger than planet Earth. It absolutely dwarfs us. In fact, 1.3 million Earths could fit inside the sun, according to NASA.
Thunder K, 1.3 million.
Correct.
Let me down. I got that one right.
That was a statement. It wasn't a question.
During World War II, where were the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights stored?
In World War II?
Mm-hmm.
Thunder K, the vault underneath the White House?
No.
The intern, Pentagon?
No.
Robo-Tuner?
Uh-huh.
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
No.
Okay, what is it?
Fort Knox.
Fort Knox. Damn it, I would have guessed Fort Knox, but I thought, no, why would they use it? Because...
Well, there's no gold in there.
Yeah, there wasn't any gold in there by World War II.
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve Bank was already established.
How many of the speeches in Shakespeare's plays are recited by women?
Robo-Tuner.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Go
do
on.
you know the answer?
Yes. 0.
Incorrect.
Well, because whenever he first wrote his plays and they were being performed, it was illegal for women to act out on stage.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the character is not a woman.
I thought the question was actually actual women.
No, it's a character.
Oh, okay. Well, I got that one wrong. Go on.
It's either A, 33%, B, 17%, or C, 52%.
Okay.
Yes.
C.
No.
It's always C.
Can you repeat the ones that is not C?
Mount Rushmore has a giant vault?
A, 33%, or B, 17%.
Alex the intern, B, 17%.
Correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's been rough on women actors with a passion for Shakespeare these 400 years. Tina Packer, an actor and the artistic director of Massachusetts Shakespeare and Company, told The Guardian that's because the women in Shakespeare plays only get around 17% of the speeches in his works.
Okay, Tina Packer. Put down. I've got another one.
Tina Packer. Okay. Which country consume? Oh no, never mind. We've already. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all try and guess this one again.
Again?
Which country consumes the most chocolate per capita?
Okay, Switzerland.
Correct.
That was a giveaway for him, just so he could get on the fucking board.
All right.
Ah, I lost
Dang,
my
Matt.
tonight.
Merry
All right.
Christmas to you, motherfucker.
It's not even Christmas yet.
All right. In which country was the largest known Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton found?
You've asked this one before too.
100K, Sushi's Closet.
No. Why are you laughing? That's not funny.
Well, because your closet's going to be big enough to hold a T-Rex.
I have a teeny tiny little tiny closet.
I'm not talking about the one you have now, the one you want to build out.
Okay.
Yeah, you got your podcast shed. She gets a big Tyrannosaurus Rex closet.
That goes underground.
It goes underground.
Yeah. So that's where I keep my small
Smell
children.
like sewage.
Crazy.
All right.
What's the answer?
What was the question?
What's the country where the largest Tyrannosaurus Rex
Alex answered Bolivia.
No.
remains were found? You have asked this one before. Asked.
100K, United States.
No.
You already guessed.
Brasil número uno.
Hey, I just narrowed it down for you, brother.
And I guess that before and it was wrong. That's why I didn't guess again.
Hurry up. Hurry up.
RoboTuner?
Mm-hmm.
Canada?
Correct.
Ding.
What is the smallest bone in the human body?
You've read this one before too.
I'm trying to find ones I haven't.
100K, for Alex, it'd be his penis.
There's no bone in that.
We're one of the few species that actually doesn't have a bone in our penises.
That's not what you call it, though.
What?
Do you know what the answer is?
You've read this one before too, damn it. Oh shit.
That's the one that's in the back of your skull.
What's it called? You know, I can't see y'all, so I can't tell if you're checking your phone.
RoboTuner?
Uh-huh.
No, because we've had this one before.
Is it the tibia?
No.
No.
Why can't you see us? We're right there on the screen.
I can see you guys. She can't.
Well, I'm looking at the live feed and I see us both there. We're just really still.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3.
You're all done. It's called the stapes.
Stapes?
Yeah. What was the
Don't you
first...
buy office supply furniture there?
What?
Don't you buy office supplies there?
At Staples? No.
You don't buy it there?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Positive. How fast does the Earth spin?
100K once a day.
No.
Not technically wrong.
You're looking for an actual speed calculation,
Hey,
like
wow. What speed does it? She says.
Yeah.
Like how many?
Yeah. Well, how fast does the Earth spin? Hint. There are supersonic cars that move at this speed, which is a multiple of 10.
RoboTuner, 10 miles per hour.
No. Multiple.
That's a multiple of 10. I think my answer was correct, ma'am.
Yours is wrong too.
I'm just fucking with you.
Can you give us answer
How is
choices or
mine
no?
wrong? Because it spins once a day.
No, there's no answer choices. There's only one answer.
And what is that? I think we've all
Once
guessed.
a day.
No, Alex isn't guessed yet.
Well, is there answer choices? Is my question.
No, there's not. I just said there's not.
Oh, fine. Alex the
52.
Alex the N turned 3,256 kilometers.
No, it's a multiple of 10.
Multiple of 10?
Yeah.
Oh. 10,000 meters per second.
10,000 meters per second.
No, it's 1,000.
1,000. Okay.
Or
All right.
once a day.
Who was the female lead singer of the band Berlin?
RoboTuner, Terry Nunn.
Correct.
Ding 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 ding.
Ugh.
Which band hid free tickets to its gig on the New York City subway in 2017?
RoboTuner?
Uh-huh.
Blondie?
No.
That was the first New York band that came to mind. Oh, wait. You said 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Multiple choice?
A. Queen, C. Quarantine, B. Quasar, and D. Queens of the Stone Age.
Alex the Intern, Quasar.
No.
Can't be Queen. Thunder K Quarantine.
Incorrect. It was Queens
Queens
of the Stone Age. Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Who hit his brother with a tambourine when on stage in Los Angeles in 1994? Is it
Wait, what did you say? A tambourine or a horsewhip?
a tambourine?
Tambourine.
Shut up. Is it A, Liam Gallagher, B, Taylor Hanson, C, Angus Young, or D, Colin
Okay,
Green?
Taylor Hanson.
Robotuner.
No, it's not Taylor Hanson.
Robotuner. Liam Gallagher.
Correct.
Yeah, you said 1994 and tambourine. I automatically knew it was Oasis.
All right, this is the last one I'm doing.
Okay.
Which Chuck Berry song was covered by both the Beatles and the Beach Boys?
Here we go.
A, Wonderful Woman, B, Let It Rock, C, Roll Over Beethoven, or D, Rock and Roll Music?
Robotuner.
Mm-hmm.
You said both the Beach Boys and who else?
The Beatles.
And the Beatles. Okay, what was answer D? C was Roll Over Beethoven.
Rock and Roll Music was D, and C was Roll Over Beethoven.
I'm going to guess Roll Over Beethoven.
No.
Ah, damn, it must be.
Alex the Intern, B.
No.
Thunder K. I got 50-50 shot here. A?
No.
It was D.
was
Rock and Roll music. Okay, I didn't know the Beach Boys covered it.
Who is the winner?
Robotuner.
Okay.
By how much? By
3,
what?
2, 1.
Why do you got to know that? You just need to know that you won.
Well, because he's the scorekeeper. He has
Okay.
that information.
He just said it. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, well, we've gone kind of long. Let's call an end to this debacle. Shit, almost 2 hours. That's not the norm for us. All right, and then as usual,
It has been here lately.
Yeah, it has.
yeah, and as usual, if you'd like for us to talk about a particular subject, you can send an email to robotuner2020@gmail.com. You can also call and leave us a voicemail at 682-325-1379. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at The Robotuner. And, of course, you can catch us live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the YouTubes on The Robotuner page. Until then, we're getting the fuck out of here and going to eat some lasagna. Red pants.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Bye to YouTubes.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
I got to end our Zoom call here. Thanks for joining, Dustin.
Talk to y'all later.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I'm tired. It's been a long day.
I know.
My head is hot. And I'm hungry.